Bio 330, Chapter 2, Part 4. In this last video, we will focus our discussion on demography. What is demography? From the Greek, demos is the people. Graphos means measurement. So, we can define demography is the statistical study of factors that affect birth and death rates in a population, or the statistical study of population changes through time. There are a few factors determine growth rate or future population size, which is sex ratio, age structure, and generation time. What is sex ratio? Sex ratio is the proportion of individuals of each sex, male over female. The number of female is usually directly related to the number of birth, growth rates, or future population size. And the number of male normally less significant in species in which a single male able to mate with several females. However, in monogamous pair-born species, any significant reduction in male will affect the number of births. And this diagram demonstrates the sex ratios in Malaysia for 2020 and 2021. It demonstrates 406 male, the ratio is per 100 female, both for 2021 and 2020. What is age structure? Age structure is the relative number of individuals of each age or cohort. What is cohort? Cohort is a group of individuals of the same age. Age structure is very important, especially in determining the rate at which it is going. Each cohort has a characteristic birth and death. Birth rate, or sometimes we use the term of fecundity, is the number of offspring produced during a certain amount of time. Is often greatest for individuals of intermediate age. Meanwhile, death rate or mortality is the number of individuals that die during certain amount of time, is highest in the first year and in old age. This diagram demonstrates the age structure of Malaysia in 2021 with the population 32 million plus. Demographers often use population pyramid or age pyramids to show the age structure of a population. A population pyramid is very important in determining the rate at which it is going, or to predict demographic trends in birth and death. There are a few types of population pyramid. For example, triangular pyramid, rectangular pyramid, and inverted triangular pyramid. In population pyramid, the bottom portion represents pre-reproductive years. The blue one, meanwhile, middle, the yellow one, represent reproductive years, age in between 15 to 44 years old, and the red, or the top portion represents post-reproductive years, the age in between 45 to 85 plus. A triangular pyramid is characteristic of a country that will exhibit rapid growth, for example in Kenya, Nigeria, and Saudi Arabia, where the number of bottom portion higher compared to the top portion. Meanwhile, a rectangular pyramid is characteristic of countries whose population are stable and exhibit zero growth, for example in Denmark, Austria, and Italy. The last one, inverted triangle pyramid, is characteristic of a country with shrinking population or negative growth, and usually as a result of sharply declining birth rate, which happened in Germany, Bulgaria, and Hungary, for example. Next factor, what is generation time? Generation time is the average span between the birth of individuals and the birth of their offspring. Generation time is strongly related to body size in broad range of organisms. Normally, small in size have short generation time, so they achieve reproductive maturity quickly. But in the large size organism, they have long generation time because it takes longer to reach maturity or the size at which they are able to reproduce. Life table. What is life table? Life table is a demographic tool used by ecologists as well as demographers to assess how population in nature changing in size, which requires knowing information about birth rate as well as death rate. How to construct a life table? We can construct a life table by follow the fit of a cohort, a group of individuals of the same age, from their birth up to their old death. The table is constructed from the number of individuals that die and the number of offspring born to each member of each age group during the defined time period. As a note, a graphic way of representing some of the data in a life table is to draw a curve we classified as a survivorship curve, which is a plot of the numbers in a cohort still alive at each age. What we can find or include in life table? They have the information about the age, number alive at start of the year, proportion alive at start of year, number of death during year, death rate, and average additional life expectancy in years. But we also can add other information depend on the purpose or the objective of the life table. Now we discuss about survivorship curve. First, what is survivorship? Survivorship you can define as the percentage of an original population that survives to a given age. And what is survivorship curve? Survivorship curve is a plot of the numbers in a cohort still alive at each age and can be classified into three general types: type 1, type 2, and type 3. Type 1, relatively flat at the start, reflecting low death rate during early and middle life. Then what happened? The curve dropping steeply as death rates increase among older age group. And this type of survivorship curve we can find in human and many other large mammals that produce relatively few offspring but provide parental care. Type 2 curve is intermediate with mortality more constant over the lifespan. And this type of survivorship has been observed in some annual plants, some invertebrates such as hydra, and it also can be found in lizard, rodent, and bird. Type 3, the curve drops sharply at the start, reflecting very high death rate for the young. Then, the curve flattens out as death rates decline for those individuals that have survived to a certain critical age. This type of curve usually associates with organisms that produce very large numbers of offspring but provide little or no parental care, such as invertebrates and fishes. What is the relationship in between life history and the cost of reproduction? The complete life cycle of an organism constitutes its life history. Natural selection favors the life history that maximizes lifetime reproductive success. Low cost of reproduction may occur when resources are abundant, a lot of food, a lot of space, such that producing offspring does not impair survival or the ability to produce many offspring in the next year or subsequent years. But when costs of reproduction are high, lifetime reproductive success may be maximized by deferring or minimizing current reproduction to enhance growth and survival rates. Investment per offspring. In the context of natural selection, the number of offspring produced is not as important as how many of those offspring survive to reproduce. A key reproductive trait of concern how many resources to invest in producing any single offspring. Assuming that the amount of energy to be invested in offspring is limited, a trade-off must occur between the clutch size. What is clutch size? Clutch size is the number of offspring produced at each cycle with the size of each offspring. Which one better? Clutch size or the size of each offspring? If they choose to producing many offspring with little chance of surviving might not be the best strategy. Also, producing extraordinary rubber single offspring also would not maximize the number of surviving offspring, but producing several fairly large offspring should maximize the number of surviving offspring. Number of reproductive episodes per lifetime. How many times they reproduce can be divided to two, simulparity or heteroparity. In simulparity, a life history adaptation in plants and animals that invest most of their energy in growth and development, then expend this energy in just a single large reproductive effort and they just simply die. And we can find this simulparity in salmon, in certain insects, bamboos, and in century plants. Meanwhile, heteroparity is a life history adaptation in plants and animals that produce fewer offspring at a time over a span of many seasons that we can find in birds, mammals, most of the reptiles, most of the fishes, and perennial plants. Age at first reproduction. In longer-lived species, demonstrate delayed reproduction. Why? So that juvenile can gain experience before expanding the high cost of reproduction, for example, human and other mammals. But for the short-lived species, they demonstrate quick reproduction that is more critical compared to juvenile training, for example, insects. End of chapter 2. For the further reading, you may look into Campbell biology as well as Raven biology. Thank you.